There's a number of changes happening. These changes aren't unique to Basingstoke and Deane. They're happening right across the country. There's two that I particularly want to talk about today. The first is a change to the rent level for housing association tenants, and the second is a change to the length of time that some housing association tenants may be able to stay in their homes for. The changes will affect people on the Borough Council's housing register who are looking for a housing association property for the first time. The only existing housing association tenants who will be affected are those who are seeking to move from one housing association property to another housing association property.
Hello there, thank you for coming in today. What can we do to help you?
Hi, we've come in today because we're actually really confused. We've been on the housing register for a couple of years now and we're quite near the top. So we've been looking to bid on some houses. We've looked at ones near where our friends live, but they seem to be paying a lot less than the houses that are advertised on the website are.
Right, okay. There have been some changes both to tenancy types and to rent levels, which may well mean that some of the properties being advertised now are more expensive than they were in the past. I mean, if you'd like, we can go through to the interview room and discuss these in more detail.
Okay.
In the past, housing associations could only charge one type of rent. In the future, they'll be able to charge different types of rent, which means that the range of rent levels that they'll be able to set are much wider than in the past.
Right, but how long exactly can we stay in the house for?
Well, the housing associations will be offering fixed term tenancies of anything between 2 and 5 years with a year's probation. What they'll look to do is review that at the end of that period.
Right, so it's not a home for life?
Well, it depends very much on what the situation is when they undertake the review.
There is a change to the length of time that housing association tenants will be able to stay in their property. In the past, tenants were able to stay more or less for their lifetime, providing they complied with their tenancy agreements. For some in the future, there will be a review after between 2 to 5 years, and that will determine how much longer they're able to stay in that home. Council will continue to use its home bid website, so every property we have available is advertised on that, and people on the housing register can look at that and choose which property to bid for. On that, we'll make it really clear how much the rent is for each individual property and what the length of tenancy is. So it's really important that people check that, read all the details, make sure they can afford the property, make sure they're comfortable with the tenancy agreements before they bid and ultimately accept any property.
So these are all the properties that are available to us at the moment?
They are, yes. What you need to be aware of is, though, is the rent levels and the tenancy periods do differ.
Right, okay.
We're asking people in the housing register to check the home bid website, make sure they're making an informed choice, and if they're at all unsure or want any further help or advice, call us or email us and the housing team will get back to them.